1, 2, 3. Let's start. Good day, everyone. We're the group 2, and we will be reporting about traveler decision making, the experientialist task. Next slide, please. So, ang context po ng aming report is about the decision-making processes and yung dynamic modeling theory of travel decision-making. Mapupunta rin tayo sa drilling down with grounded theory and also explaining the tourism behavior. Next slide, please. Traveler decision-making, the never-ending journey. Si Helmut and Helga ay first-time visitors sa Hawaii sa galing sila sa Bonn, Germany. And yung kanilang 3-week trip ay pinaghati nila between the islands of Hawaii, Oahu, and Kauai. Si Helmut, isa siyang professional scientist, meron siyang PhD sa physics, and yung asawa niya naman, nag-manage siya ng home full-time. And yung kanilang 3-week trip is split between, many decisions regarding this couple's vacations, fairly overstraight naman and unremarkable. And nag-decide sila na yung Hawaiian Islands would be the wonderful second honeymoon destination. Kasi yung Germany, long distance siya sa Hawaii, nag-decide sila na mag-flew first class and nag-stop sila sa California to rest for a few days. While on vacation, the couple stayed in 3-star hotels because they did not plan to spend much time in their room. Next slide.
Naririnig ako, Te. Good day, everyone. My name is Paul David and I am here para i-discuss yung mga chapters na ginawa about sa decisions making. So, as per as Lara said, may dalawang couple na nag-travel, which is sina Helmut and Helga. Yung 3-week trip nila is hindi naging madali sa paggawa ng decisions nila since first time nilang mag-travel sa Hawaii. So, I am here para i-discuss yung mga chapters or yung mga gumawa ng chapters upang mas malinawagan yung isang traveler na magkaroon ng tamang decisions. So, first, yung sa part na to is parang gumawa lang ng mga visitors limitations. Parang gumawa lang sila ng mga visitors informations, nag-collect sila ng mga informations. But then again, yung kinalabasan nito is parang naapektuhan sa mga decisions making ng couple. Kasi tinanong sila if how did the couple make vacations decisions and paano sila na-influence na mag-travel sa Hawaii. So next yung sa chapter naman neto, which is kay Lakoff and Johnson's. Kumbaga, nag-adapt lang sila ng mga experientialist approach sa theory para ma-overcome natin yung limitations ng objectivisms, which is only one reality is observable, and subjectivism, no one reality exists. Then yung sa next part, third one is, sa chapter na to is parang nag-adopt lang si Winsbridge ng unstructured and semi-structured decisions. Kapag sinabi kasing unstructured decisions, ito yung mga decisions maker na kailangan mag-provide ng judgment, evaluation, and insights sa problema na meron sila. And yung structured decisions naman, ito yung mga decisions makers na umuulit lang at parang nakasanayan na nila para hindi sila mahirapan. And may contribution din dito si McDonald 1994 para nag-contribute siya para ma-elaborate and ma-explain ng maayos sa travelers about sa decisions making. So, next one. Then yung sa in situ is Jetso thinking. Parang diniscuss lang ni Evans 2003 na yung Jetso thinking ay may combination siya ng two system, which is the system 1 is unconscious and system 2 is conscious thinking. Kapag sinabing unconscious thinking, ito yung mga thoughts or mga feelings na meron tayo pero hindi tayo aware, or kumbaga wala tayong kamalay-malay sa mga thoughts na meron tayo. And kapag naman sinabing conscious thinking, ito naman yung mga feelings or thoughts na aware tayo at this moment. For example, yung mga sinasabi kong thoughts or yung feelings ko ngayon is parang aware ako as of now. Then yung lastly, yung Seminole The Crop and Snilders 2005 is parang nag-seminar lang sina The Crop and Snilders 2005. So parang nag-develop sila ng mga vacationer typology based on their decisions such as yung habitual, rational, hedonic, opportunistic, and so forth. Parang yung sa chapter lang nito is yung pinaka main purpose ng chapter nito is para ma-illustrate and ma-develop sa ganoong paraan mas lumawak yung traveler when it comes to decisions making kapag pupunta siya sa ibang lugar para mas lumawak yung decisions making niya as a traveler. Next natin.
Thank you, Pau. And let's get over with decision-making processes. May mga scholars daw ng variety of disciplines, nag-develop daw sila ng decision-making model. So, sinabi ni Sirakaya and Woodside 2005 na it helped to explain the tourism decision-making processes. And yung mga pioneering consumer behavior models daw, nag-influence daw sa mga ating mga tourism research sa decision-making. Pero yung mga grand models of buyer behavior, primary ginawa daw para ma-examine yung durable goods or goods purchases, rather services katulad ng tourism. Pero si Gilbert, 1991, gumawa siya ng summary of ng mga study na to and nakahanap siya ng 6 commonalities. So, una, consumer behavior is a constant decision-making process. Yung meaning lang nito is yung consumer palagi siyang nag-iisip ng decision, whether they aware or not. Kahit na mga malilit na choices like kung ano yung brand na bibili nila, is part siya ng ongoing process. Yung pangalawa naman is the individual consumer is emphasized. Parang hina-highlight lang dito yung importansya ng individual sa decision-making process kasi kada individual may sarili-sarili tayong beliefs, preferences, and values ang nakaka-apekto to sa decisions natin. And number 3, yung behavior is rational or utilitarian and can be explained. Parang sinasabi lang dito na yung consumer behavior daw is nagdi-driven by logical reasoning and desire lang naman nila na ma-maximize yung benefits or utility kasi yung mga people will make decisions na naisip nila na it will bring them the most satisfaction and ma-meet yung needs nila. And pang-apat, buyer actively searches for and evaluates and stores information. Bago mag-isip tayo ng decision, yung consumers often gather information about different opinions and nag-evaluate sila ng information based doon sa kanilang needs and preferences and isi-store nila yon for future references. Collected information is narrowed down to choose alternatives. Pag yung mga consumer natin, nakahanap na sila ng information na nahanap nila, and then inanarrowed nila to into their choices, and then mapipili sila ng option kung saan yung pinaka-best meet yung needs and preferences nila. And lastly, future purchases are affected by final purchases. Meaning lang nito is kung ano yung choice ng consumers is makaka-apekto sa kanilang mga future decisions. So, for example, pag yung consumer nagkaroon siya ng positive experience sa particular brand, more or likely, bibili niya ulit yung brand na yon in the near future. Next slide, please. A decision maker identifies a few choice is likely consequences and hinahanap nila yung best alternative na makakasolve sa problem nila or maximize benefits. Yung consumer information processing steps, nagre-require ito ng significant inputs from reference group. So, yung reference group natin, ito yung mga group of people or individuals compare natin. So, pwede natin silang i-compare or tinitake natin sila as standard. So, example nito is yung family and friends natin. And symbolic stimuli. Yung symbolic stimuli, ito yung parang pag-refer ng mga objects ng images sa isang bagay beyond ng meaning na yon. So for example, when you think of sleek, when you think of very rich, you think of iPhone. Kasi yun yung parang lagyan nila ng meaning, yung pagiging clean, aesthetic, yun yung meaning ng symbolic stimuli. In the case of routine purchases or habitual purchases, yung mga some steps naman daw are mas-skip kasi result na daw ito ng automaticity or tinatawag natin na heuristics. So, making daw yung mga consumers' final decision easier. And sinabi naman ni Wegner and Wilson, sinuggest naman daw nila, yung fundamental flaws daw is in rational theory. May mga flaws daw doon. So for example, sinabi daw na yung rational theory parang ina-assume daw niya na lahat ng kailangan nilang information available sa mga decision maker and yung mga consumer daw, meron silang kapasidad na evaluate itong information na to using rules. And also, yung present and future external stimuli, hindi nila ini-influence yung decision maker alternative. So, hindi nila inisip na yung pwede maghanap ng alternative yung decision maker and also yung evaluation of goods. Next slide, please. So, decisions are less deliberate. So, yung deliberate is like done consciously, intentionally. So, parang yung mga decisions daw, hindi natin siya iniisip agad. Kasi yun yung parang pinopropose ng rational theory. Sinabi ni Zajonic, 1980s, na suggest daw niya na pwede naman tayong magustuhan yung isang bagay or pwede tayong matakot doon before we know it precisely or bago pa natin malaman yon or kung ano yon. And sinabi naman ni Bra, kinoconclude niya yung most decisions natin ay nag-influence ng unconscious thinking. Sinasabi naman na yung constructive theory nag-a-apply na yung information processing shortcuts na yung to decision is rather making an omniscient rationality. So yung omniscient rationality is yung parang yung individual gawa sila ng decisions as if parang alam na nila lahat or parang gets na nila lahat yung mga relative information about sa decision na gagawin nila. Next slide, please. So, yung choice-making strategies, ini-include nito yung cognitive processing of information or meron lang involved na limited information or explicit thought. Kasi yung decision maker, parang binabalance niya sa yung cognitive effort niya ng choice accuracy. Kasi yung mga choice alternative, parang kino-consider din the desire to confront. Parang ayaw nilang, parang ina-avoid nilang magkaroon ng negative feelings by the end result. And yung awareness naman, of one's environment is yun daw yung foundations ng ecological systems theory. Yung knowledge daw about a person's environment nakaka-help daw of understanding an individual's choices and behaviors by Raymore and Martin Mochis. And yung approach nito, kino-combine yung mga interactions between individual and other individuals and yung social structures ng society para explain yung human development. And sinabi din na yung individual's environment constraints must be fully considered para maintindihan natin yung human behavior. Kinombine ng constructive choice theory with ecological system theory by Alan's flag model and then describe yung mga informants' lived experiences as historical waves. Next slide, please. The experiential task, ini-include ito yung proposition na yung mga decision makers, ini-employ daw yung array of decision-making models. So, depende daw sa variation of system 1, which is yung thinking, prior trip, actions. Then yung system 2 is thinking at site configurations of action. Then system 1, thinking, then to system 2, thinking, katulad ng sinabi ni Pao kanina. Sinabi na, what one size fits all decision model is hindi daw realistic kasi yung modeling leisure travel decision daw is nagre-require siya ng departure sa traditional consumer decision funnel kasi yung mga travel decision natin and yung mga behavior natin is dynamic, nagbabago. And pag nagkaroon tayo ng streams ng feedback loops and nagre-result ito ng parang never-ending process so hindi siya natatapos. And mag-develop daw tayo ng parsimonious model for tourism choices kasi meron itong strategic marketing implication. So, yung parsimonious model is parang ito yung pag-achieve ng simplicidad kasi gagamit tayo dito ng mga counting number ng variables and factors para mapaisi natin explain yung isang phenomenon. Next slide, please.
So the tourist decision dynamics is interpretative researchers explicitly describe their own conclusions from any trip participants, explanations, and conclusions that were found while collecting data in field settings. Generalized ethic-emic propositions help interviewers to probe into in situ influences with informants abductive inferences permit reasoning from
Role and Result to Case by Holbrook and Grayson 1986 and Mick 1986. So in this statement, researchers use a combination of ethic and emic perspectives. Pag sinabi nating ethic perspective, it's outsider's perspective. It is the perspective of the researchers mismo. And emic is the insider's perspective. Ito yung perspective ng mga tourists, no? And yung aim nila is to understand the subjective experiences and um, perspectives of the tourists. In-study nila yung mga motivations and preferences ng mga travelers and ini-interview nila to, yung mga tourists ini-interview nila kasama yung mga tourists to know their preferences and their influences para makapili ng destinations. And yung generalized proposition could be that tourist travel decisions na influenced by a combination of personal preferences, social influences, and destination attributes. And next is the result given by Woodside et al. 2004 suggests that the decision process begins before the actual trip decision and continues until the trip is completed. So dito sa statement na to is yung decision making ng isang traveler is hindi siya natatapos kapag nandoon na siya mismo sa destination na gusto niya puntahan. Nagko-continue to hanggang matapos yung travel duration ng isang tourist. Hindi porket nandoon na siya sa destination niya is okay na, wala na siyang pagdedesisyonan pa. And to further explain that, I'm gonna show you a chart. Next slide. This is the figure 4.1 theoretical map adapted from Woodside et al. 2004 and March and Woodside 2005. Explain ko pa ba to or later na lang?
Later na yan, te. Medyo mahaba-haba yan.
Sige, next na tayo.
Sa mismong recording mo na lang siya explain.
Sige.
Thank you, Maura. And punta na tayo sa dynamic modeling theory of travel decision making. Yung traveler's decision daw is napaka-complex and opportunistic. Nagdi-deviate ito from plans throughout the decision-making process and nag-include ito ng outside context during the trip itself. Yung tourism decision-making is dynamic, so nagbabago siya and unstructured yung process niya. Para ma-prevent being overwhelmed decisions and alternatives, typically yung traveler, hinahati niya yung decisions into smaller and more familiar decisions. The unstructured decision-making model na ginawa ni Metzberg noong 1976, minaps niya yung process of organizations na may employ when encountering unfamiliar decisions. Tapos yung model na to, ang binabawasan niya yung decisions into three main phases. So, meron tayo identification, development, and selection. So, after ng phase identification, usually yung familiar center routes are enacted. And these are interchangeable, so nagbabago siya, and yung familiar routes na are applied are to reduce to the decision's complexity. Next slide. Hindi ko muna explain kasi medyo mahaba yan. Sa mismong recording na lang. Ayan. And now we're going to drilling down with grounded theory. So, some tourism researchers daw, ang nire-recommend nila yung existential phenomenological or EP methods as powerful tools ng inquiry. And sinasabi daw nila na they question yung reliance on theory before data approach. Sinabi ni Filmer and Goodson. Sinabi din daw yung EP research, ina-emphasize niya yung value of observing and probing. Probing is pag-investiga sa mga informants while ginagawa nila yung planning or mismo ginagawa nila yung action. So, under this condition na to, yung researcher's role parang can be peculiar. Peculiar, parang pinipis nila together yung mga messy and yung mga hindi pag sunod-sunod na data para mag-create ng solution sa mga problema. And sinabi na yung grounded theory is common than AP approach kasi for interpreting traveler experiences kasi yung grounded theory development, usually ini-include ito yung C2 or yung on-site observation or original place observation, and usually face-to-face yung informant questioning by the researcher. So, yung grounded theory is ito yung paggawa ng research na nag-start muna sila is kumukuha muna sila ng madaming information and data. Wala pa silang inisip na theory in mind, basta kukuha lang muna sila ng mga information. Next slide, please. Then, yung mga final description, na-include na to yung emic and yung ethic interpretation of informant's lived experiences and plans. Yung emic viewpoint, ito daw yung result from studying behavior from the participants' vantage points or yung inside sa system, sinabi kanina. Then, yung visitors, ito daw yung visitors' emic statements, ito nagpo-provide daw to ng insights on both travel motivation and behavior. Tapos, yung emic interpretations daw alone are likely nakaka-capture daw nito yung essence ng larger social issues, sinabi ni Harris. And sinabi din daw na yung ethic viewpoint, sinastudies niya yung behavior from outside a particular system kasi parang vital siya para maintindihan natin yung alien system or hindi natin maintindihan na system. Next slide, please. And yung ethic reporting, kinakapture daw yung different insights sa mga behavior streams, sinabi ni Arnold and Price. Yung analysis daw ng ethic and emic data, nagpro-provide daw siya sa mga researchers ng rich method para maintindihan nila and yung mga complexities and nuances of travel experiences, sinabi ni Glacier and Strauss. And sinabi din daw yung holistic and thick description, nagpro-provide daw siya ng gestalt. Gestalt parang concept siya ng greater than sum of its parts kasi yung para siyang our perception of something, hindi siya based sa individual elements, parang kung paano siya inorganized, structured as a whole. And na-integrate daw ito sa whole tourist interpretations of their action before and during sa trips nila. Next slide. Next slide, please.
So, data collection methodology. McCracken's 1988 long interview method provides guidelines for collecting data. This method used loosely structured question and probing follow-up questions for tourism research. The inquiries need to uncover the rational behavior, the visitor decision-making process, outcomes, and feelings throughout the trip. So, dito, na-collect yung data dahil kay McCraken's 1988. Si McCraken's, gumawa siya ng long interview method na nagpro-provide ng guidelines sa pag-collect ng data. And yung method po na to is loosely structured question and proving follow-up question. Yung proving is parang examine nila yung follow-up question. For tourism research naman po, siya yung nag-step up para malaman niya yung decision-making ng isang visitors, process, outcomes, and feeling throughout the trip ng isang visitors. So, the interview should take that place, location, and situation considered to provide the greatest opportunity to gather the most relevant data about the phenomena under investigation, Strauss and Corbin 1998. So, yung second naman po is kung paano nila kinokonduct yung interview. For Helmut and Helga naman interview po, is yung question po nila, na-address po sila sa demographic information, pre-trip planning sources and of information, activeness and decision, both planned and unplanned. Issues surrounding flights, accommodation, and ground transportation. Overall, impressions of the travel experience. Next slide, please. So, dito sa Helman and Helga, ikukwento ko muna yung background story nila para may idea kayo kapag kinukwento ko na yung sa illustration. So basically, may mag-asawa na si Helmat at Helga, may tatlo silang anak, tapos na-interview sila sa Kailua Kuna. Yung interview na yon is naglasted ng 60 minutes and nag-participate sila equally. Si Helmat nag-spend ng 20 years thinking dun sa Hawaii trip nila. So, scientist din siya na fascinated siya sa volcano. Para maging possible yung trip nila, he saved 20 years sa Delta Points. Yung Delta Points po is makukuha sa airline. So, kapag marami kang ganun, makukuha mo yung mga discounts sa airline. So, basically, makakatipid ka sa airlines kasi marami kang Delta Points. Which is yung ganun nga yung ginawa niya. Nakapag-ipon siya. So, yung wife niya naman na si Helga is hindi siya mahilig sa mga volcano. So, gusto niya lang pumunta sa USA kasi hindi pa siya nakakapunta doon. Tapos, despite of 20 years dreaming in Hawaii, hindi man lang sila nag-search about sa Hawaii na pupuntahan nila. So, dahil hindi sila nakapag-search sa Hawaii, hindi nakita ni Helmat yung lava flow, which is kaya pupunta sila doon para makita niya yung lava flow. Kaso, hindi sila nag-search na kailangan pala ng helicopter ride para makita niya yon. Ang kaso, parang tinanggihan niya na lang kasi parang gusto niyang makasave ng money. So, ganun yung brief background ng dalawang mag-asawa. So, dito, meron 4 phase. Yung unang phase is nagko-consist ng demographics, pre-framing and pre-planning the trip issues, framing leisure choices, and external influences. So, wait lang.
Go. After ng natin, yung dry run, break tayo, then babalik tayo. Tatry kong i-upload sa YouTube or papanoorin ko yung video natin na recorded kung okay ba siya. Kung may need bang akong baguhin. Kasi may electric fan ako, baka marinig siya sa background.
So, okay na. So, dito sa travel decision making nila, Helmat and Helga, may 4 phases, which is yung phase 1 is coverage na is demographic, pre-framing and pre-planning trip issues, framing leisure choices, external influences. So sa demographic, um, dito is pinapakita kung anong status ng pamilya, anong meron sa kanila. So dito mag-husband sila and wife. Tapos may anak silang tatlo, which is 17 years old, 18 and 21. So sa framing and pre-framing and pre-planning trip issues, yung unang bullet is anong state ng pamilya nila, like old enough na ba sila para mag-travel mag-isa or yun nga. Tapos yung second bullet at saka third bullet is parang about siya sa financial state nila. So sa Save Delta Millage Award over 20 years, ito nga yung sinasabi ko kanina na kapag nakasave ka ng Delta points galing airlines, so makatipid ka na kapag gagamit kayo ng, kapag pupunta kayo sa ibang lugar. So makakatipid kayo dito. So yung third bullet is hindi nila afford yung ticket before nung bata sila. So, dahil sa pero ngayon afford na nila. So, dahil sa Delta points, parang um, nabawasan yung price nung pag-trip nila sa ibang lugar. So, sa premium leisure choices is si naisipan ng husband niya unconsciously na pumunta sa South Seas Paradise, like hindi literal na pupunta pero like unconsciously naisip niya lang na gusto niya pumunta doon pero hindi literal. Tapos sa second bullet to third and fourth is dito wala silang sinerch about sa Hawaii. Nag-ano lang sila, like pumunta lang sila bigla doon and hindi sila humanap ng hotel, rental cars option, basta pumunta lang sila doon. So wala silang idea. So yung external influences naman is nakapaloob siya sa phase 1 and phase 2. So sa phase 1 muna. May idea na sila dito about dun sa place. Pero like basic idea lang siya, hindi kagaya nung iba na may itinerary na. So sa phase 2 naman, we have key activity drivers for Hawaii visit, pre-framing and pre-planning trip issues, trip booking actions, choice of destination, and external influences. So sa una, key activity drivers for Hawaii visit, ito nga yung, di ba, scientist si Helmut, gusto niyang makita yung lava and yung volcano, kaso nga hindi natuloy. So pupunta sila sa pre-framing and pre-planning trip issues. Ito yung tatlong bullets, yung na-imagine na nila, ini-imagine na nila kung ano yung possible na ma-encounter nila na problem. So nag-online booking na sila. Trip booking action, nag-online booking na sila, nag-rent ng hotel and cars. Tapos yun nga, yung Delta points, niredeem nila para makabawas yon sa gagastusin nila. So sa choice of destination naman, ito, parang may itinerary na sila. Alam na nila yung pupuntahan nila, ganun. So sa third phase naman is key activities on Hawaii's Big Island, initiate trip, during trip evaluation, and situation on-site influences. So dito sa key activities on Hawaii's Big Island, may mga activity na sila na naiisip, like talk to the children at home daily kasi nga naiwan yung yung mga anak nila. Sila lang dalawa yung umalis. So, ito pa yung ibang mga activities na iniisip nilang gawin. Tapos, Solava tours, snorkeling, visited church, hilo day trip. Tapos, dito nag-initiate na sila ng trip para matuloy yung mga activities na gagawin nila. Tapos, during the trip evaluation naman, iniisip na nila, ini-evaluate na nila habang papunta sila doon kahit hindi pa nila na-experience yung mga activities. So, yung sa 8 naman, na-experience na nila, so pinag-isipan na nila if masaya ba yung experience, if babalik pa ba sila sa Hawaii. So, ganun yung sa situation on-site influences. So, sa last phase naman is yung consequences. Worthwhile trip but did not get to see lava flows. Ito nga, worthwhile daw. Pero, hindi nila nakita yung lava flows kasi nga, hindi sila nag-search about dun sa pupuntahan nila. Like, wala silang idea sa pupuntahan nila. Hindi nila alam na need pala ng helicopter ride para makita yung lava flows. So, si Helmut, parang 50-50, hindi siya satisfied ganun. Kasi nga, pumunta siya doon para sa lava flow. Tapos naman, yung is happy kasi, di ba nga gusto niya pumunta sa US? Eh, yung US is state siya ng Hawaii. So, dyan nabubuo yung traveling making decision ni Helmat and Helga. So, yun lang.
Next slide, please.
Explaining tourism behavior. So dito sa explaining tourism behavior, we have 4 phases. First phase is memories, demographics, ecological factors, and unconscious memories influenced by Helmut and Helga's decision-making criteria. So dito sa phase na to is to understand why people travel and what drives them or their decision-making process. Sa phase na to is involved dito yung identifying different types of motivation such as adventure, exploration, and social interaction. Phase 2 is molds the decision to making actual plans. Key activity drivers would make or break the trip. So dito nagpaplano na sila kung saan destination sila pupunta, kung ano activities yung mga gusto nilang gawin sa destination nila. Next is phase 3. Is where travel behavior depart from the traditional consumer decision-making funnel. At the trip destination, each travel party was exposed to unexpected occurrences and activities. So, eto, sa phase 3, sa phase na to is parang yung experience mismo ng tourist doon sa destination nila. Kung ano yung mga nagawa nila, yung interactions nila with locals, and kung saang mga hotel sila tumuloy, kung ano accommodations yung mga pinili nila. Next is phase 4, the last phase, question whether or not the visitor develop an attachment to the destination. Will the tourist become a repeat visitor? Sa last phase is, ito na yung kumbaga reflection or evaluation ng tourist about doon sa destination, kung nasatisfy ba sila, and dito na papasok yung repeat visitor, kung babalik ba sila sa destination na yon, or i-recommend ba nila, or word of mouth recommendation, i-recommend ba nila to sa mga kakilala nila. Next.
Okay, now let's head to the conclusion. It demonstrates a thinking streaming approach for understanding the complex and extended decision making that takes place in leisure travel, pre-trip, at site, and post-trip interpretations by travelers. It demonstrates a new application of the Mintzberg 1976, Unstructured, and the Woodside and MacDonald 1994, semi-structured decision-making models to consumer decision-making for high-involvement service purchases. Trip planning involves many steps and includes many variables. The unstructured decision model allows the decision maker to break down the decisions into manageable feedback loops. Once the feedback loops within the phase are completed successfully, the process moves to the next phase. Missing elements result in developing new scenarios or returning the previous phase sometimes for years. So alam naman natin na yung topic is all about decision making and mga process or examples. No? We all know naman na pagdating sa decision making is nahihirapan tayo minsan dahil may mga times na madami tayong choices or nagdadalawang isip tayo, ganon. Kaya in the end, parang um, dahil hindi tayo nakapag-desisyon ng maayos, ang nangyayari is nagsisisi tayo. Which is ayaw natin mangyari yun. Yun nga, ah, yung nasabi ko na hindi nakapag-desisyon ng maayos, yun yung nasabi kanina, nabanggit kanina ni David, which is yun yung nasabi kanina, unconscious mind. Sila yung agad-agad nagde-desisyon na hindi muna nila iniisip or tinitignan yung future, pero yung isang reason na kung bakit nangyayari yun is kapag na-overexcite tayo, ganun, kinakabahan, or nag-overthink. And also, pagdating sa pag-travel, kailangan may backup tayo na place. Kung sakaling yung naunang place na napuntahan or pupuntahan natin is may problem. Ano, example, yung may bagyo sa place na yun, kaya bawal siyang i-visit o puntahan. At least may iba pa tayong choice or lugar na mapupuntahan na parang medyo may pagka-similarity sila yung parehas na lugar na yun. Yung dalawang choice. Like sa mga activities, ganun. Next. Ayun. One surprise is how little pre-trip planning is done, possibly by most visitors. The unstructured model is superior to the funnel approach because trip planning is dynamic. Case study research methods are sometimes criticized because the findings are difficult to generalize to a broad population. However, achieving replication using theoretical sampling of a few cases of narrowly defined population segments helps to overcome such criticism and provides the opportunity to construct Boolean algebra-based predictive models. Woodside 2010. Case study research offers deep insights that may be exceptionally useful. Okay? Useful predict- predictors of consumer behavior, and data from them support the view that a rich and holistic understanding of the tourist behavior is possible. Um, kung narinig nyo kanina sa mga nag-report or kung nakita nyo sa PowerPoint na may mga process pagdating sa decision making. Like for example, yung kay Woodside and McDonald at yung mga iba pa. Mahalaga din talaga na alam mo yung magiging desisyon ng isang tao kasi may benefits din yon pag pag sa uli. Like sa pagta-travel, kung mapapansin mo may mga feedbacks or reviews yung mga places na pinupuntahan nila para yung owner malaman niya kung okay ba yung naging experience ng traveler. Then syempre kung nagkaroon ng magandang feedback yung isang place or reviews, mas dadami pa yung mga pupuntang tourist dun sa place na yon. Kaya ganun ka-importante yung decision ng mga tao. That's all.
Wait lang. Thank you so much. Pero, wait, kasi sabihin ako, wala na pala tayong break. Siguro, papanoorin ko lang yung
Nakamute ka, be.
recording natin. Ay. Wala na pala tayong break, pero papanoorin ko muna yung video natin na na-record ng dryrun, kung yung audio ba nagsisync. Dito sa part na to, ikaw magsasabi, tapos after magsabi nun, in-extend mo dyan sa thank you. Thank you, that's all. That's all for our report. Ikaw magsasabi nun, Tena. Isagani. Sige, wait lang. Panoorin ko lang, standby lang kayo, panoorin ko lang yung, recording.